Hello all for another thrilling instalment of watching me play Age of Empires 4. I'll go through the introduction fairly quickly. I quite liked Lisan al-Gaib, that name coming from the Dune series. Just finished reading Children of Dune, which is the third book in the series, so I thought it was quite pertinent that I came across that. Yeah, starts pretty standard. I put one more on gold than I usually do for some reason. I think just because he happened to want to go over there, so I let him. I'll reveal selected player for a bit again, because I quite like to do that, just to show what I can see rather than pretend I can see everything. So scouting around at the same time. Didn't waste too much time with building that house to make sure that you don't hit the max population and stop the villager production. So there's a few people that are very late into the second age. This hot dog man particularly. So income per minute, everyone's doing fine. I'm just on... The only reason I'm kind of doing well on stone is presumably just because I am actually on stone and everyone else is not. I've only got 3 villages on it. Oh, there you go. Pink's decided to get some stone. I've got a nice number of sheep now, which is always nice. One thing about Ottomans, Anatolian hills is quite useful, and then if you kind of combine that with your own scouting, you can end up with quite a nice number of sheep. How many have I got? 80. Nice. They're all going fairly well. 8 minutes in. A little bit slow with the military schools this time, but it's quite a big map, so I don't have to worry too much about early threats. Well, I presume I don't have to worry too much, just because it would take such a long time for them to come, and for some reason this... I don't quite know what it is in multiplayer. The last game I did as well, people were just trading from the start. Oh, these are Mongols, right, which makes sense, I guess, because Mongols do get quite a lot from their trading. Okay, fair enough. And do a good kind of job scouting around, and already kind of see that they've got markets up. I'm a bit slow to put the market up, which I think annoys it annoys somebody, and they start clicking like attention here. Oh, it probably annoys the Mongols, right? I presume that. I didn't really notice who it was that it was clicking, to be honest. 12 minutes in, probably about right for 12 minutes in. Maybe should have a few more on gold, maybe a little bit too many on wood, I don't know. But then I'm just, I guess, building up the wood to get the farms, to get a late age econ ready to go. I didn't actually mean to just kind of casually put this scout there, but it does end up kind of working in my favour, because they build walls, and then I can nevertheless have a look around and check out what's going on. Repositioning gold miners, so making mines in slightly advanced points. As in territorially advanced, not kind of technologically advanced. Do okay on building villages this game. I only kind of start forgetting about doing it when I'm actually in the middle of the attack, which I think is quite hard. It can be a little bit, for me at least, difficult to be in the middle of an attack and also concentrating on how your econ's doing. So I have to admit that it's something I need to work on a little bit. So doing quite well on wood, for some reason doing terribly on... Oh, because I just moved a load of people from food, because I realised that I needed some more people on wood, such that I can just go... Yeah. What I tend to do is move loads of people onto wood, and then use those to build farms, and just click onto the farm, such that every villager just goes onto one of the farms that comes up. I find that is fairly efficient way of doing things, reasonably so. So anyway, okay, so we're 17 minutes in. This is about the time that I start to think about advancing. I leave it a little bit later at this point, starting to do a few upgrades, get that advanced academy, so you're starting to make janissaries with the military schools. What's going on here? Oh, I'm being slightly risky and just deciding to go onto this mine. At the same time, I'm putting an outpost out here with the hope that if there was a force coming, I'd be able to retreat in good order. What's happening here? These traders are just kind of going everywhere, which is kind of useful for me because it allows random line of sight, but obviously it's a bit of a dangerous tactic from their perspective. They're advancing. Purple, I think, do okay in this, do quite well. I then have a look around. I'm kind of scoping out because I'm preparing for an attack now. I'm obviously aware that I can build the next age, and so what I do actually is I kind of ping attacking here on that wall, and the cyans or teals, depending on how you want to describe that colour, actually quite nicely come with me. I think this colour is cyan. Somebody just was convinced that that's not the right description. So anyway, so we kind of go with quite a nice force. I mean, not huge, let's be honest, but enough to worry the enemy at least. I'm a little bit scattered, which I think works in my favour a little bit, such that... Let's see what blue can see, for example. What can blue see? Yeah, so they can see from here, from that, in relation to that outpost, they can see what's going on. Okay. I do kill that scout in a hope that that might help the situation slightly. Blue is actually on its own way advancing, which is interesting. And so they turn around immediately and kind of go after this attack that's coming through. Yeah, blue is also just... I'm just looking at the minimap and see what's going on. Blue is also just getting... do some mining there. No other attacks are going in as far as I can see. It's about that time though, so I'm kind of trying to be a bit watchful. I'm just stealing their wood, whilst at the same time, slowly, very slowly, yeah, so that's quite nice. So it means that, you know, I've got a force here, ready to go, and and my behind is being protected by the, I'm going to call them cyans, hot dogs, and they've got a reasonably nice force there. Obviously the spearmen are doing some damage. Spearmen are doing a lot of damage, as one might expect for this. They could have just run away. My force would be slightly better at dealing with those kind of units. These are actually just janissaries, obviously, because I can't upgrade them yet, because I'm not in the next age. I do manage to get through the wall. Villagers are just having a nice time chopping wood. I'll slow it down a bit, because there's a lot of things happening at once here. They've actually got, so the Xi'ans, Hot Dog has got another army that it's using to take out these villages. I actually didn't know that was going on, so that's really good. They advance slightly slowly. I would have much preferred them to advance with me. I don't quite know what's going on here. For some reason they haven't got line of sight here, so they don't know exactly where I am or what I'm doing, like completely. The only thing they can see is these elite mounted. Yeah, they're a bit slow here. It would be helpful for this Hot Dog to have come up with the attack a little bit more. But in the end it doesn't matter at this stage. And they do well taking on the villagers here. Absolutely destroying the villagers, which is nice. Anything happening down here? No, green is quite... I think green's doing fairly well, is it? The green's the only one... Oh, green's one of a few that's already in Imperial. So is red. And in fact, is that all the enemy that's Imperial? Oh, I can't really concentrate on that at the moment. So even though they're spearmen doing that, I need to, you know, highlight what I'm doing as well, which is building as fast as I can a Seagate Castle in hopefully quite an annoying spot. Not as aggressive as I've previously done it, but still it's going to be pretty annoying. So yeah, the threat is, I think, very much been realised, by some at least. It's nice that I'm the first to properly make a kind of make entry into the base and establish a military landmark. This is going to be annoying now for them, and it's also, I do manage to set up some barracks and archery ranges and siege works et al. So yeah, so this is something that they kind of have to deal with now. And the other thing is, when you do this, even if it doesn't work, what it does is it means that everyone kind of has to focus on wiping me out, which gives allies also time to put pressure on in other parts of the map. So even if kind of my attack peters out and fails eventually, it does give, as I say, allies a chance, if they wanted to go ahead and attack. Let's swap back to maybe to me for the moment. Yeah, so they're just chilling, not quite sure why. I guess just building up a slightly larger force. But I do kind of claim that this is quite nice because it's wearing people down. Also, in these kind of 4-player games, once one gets really annoyed and ends up quitting of the enemy, the momentum is very much swings into your direction, and then quite often you'll find either the others quit or you'll end up winning the game, just because the will is not so much there from one or two of the enemy. Obviously, one of the key reasons for putting this here is the markets down there, denying them that gold. It's quite useful. Destroying houses is good. Obviously, it's not kind of not going to do a lot, but it's going to be useful insofar as they're going to have to rebuild or sacrifice population. Again, they haven't bothered moving their traders, and that's actually red as well, so it's not just kind of affecting the pinks, the immediate kind of enemy, but it's also affecting the other players at the same time, and it's allowing Xi'an's Hot Dog to do their own thing. I'm not quite sure what their own thing is at this stage. It seems to be to kind of run around in front of their walls. Purple's got, you know, more of a defined force with with this kind of Greek fire throwing units. So I'm struggling a little bit to keep my presence here, but I have managed to get some trebuchets on target, which is nice. Struggle a little bit to keep my presence here. I don't know what, I'm a bit late with building an archery range and getting those janissaries in play. I am obviously creating men-at-arms, but to an extent I'm relying on the Seagate Castle giving me cover. I just do it at normal speed for a bit. Still they haven't stopped their traders going into harm's way. I don't quite know why that is. Alright, this army just decides, you know what, it's easier just to go through the hole that I made. It's a bit random. They could have made their own hole, but you know, oh well. And then blue is also thinking about trying to attack. Interesting. I guess they're just kind of waiting for their force to build up a bit more. They could take me out at this point. I mean, it's not a super strong position that I've got here. I have obviously taken out the tower or castle or whatever it is there. I'm now going on to their landmark. Again with the traders, just letting them walk through. I don't know where he's going. I think he's going, he does what the annoying... Oh, I'm going to slow down. This trebuchet is doing the annoying thing of going onto a landmark because I've told the siege workshop to, whatever you make, attack straight away. So I really think that's silly. Shouldn't do that. This is nice. And this is nice. So this hot dog player comes in just at the right time, actually. So this is very much a like two-pronged attack now on the enemy. Would have been a bit nicer if they'd helped me and kind of saved the Seagate Castle. They are able to destroy that. Probably would have destroyed it anyway because they've got all these kind of hand cannoneers and also they end up with bombards as well. But it is a little bit too little too late at this point because they're kind of having to focus a lot of their force on the Seagate Tower, meaning that they have left their villagers very much open to attack, and this hot dog player takes advantage of that nicely. At the same time, purples are going for a full assault. Again, it's often the kind of first to pressure the enemy that ends up winning, and I think this is the case again. I'm again taking a little bit of credit, even though I obviously am very much aware that the situation is that I'm now not really contributing much to the attack, and you know, that is a reality. And they do then start to kind of get on the offensive. The enemy, I mean, and do fairly well because they have kind of combined armies a little bit, red and blue. They're trying to stifle this advance. Now, first surrender we've got, which is blue has just decided they've had enough. And that's quite meaningful because blue was one of the ones that was pushing quite hard. It is, I have to admit, it is a bit annoying when they just surrender. I kind of get the rationale, but and I suppose that I haven't been really watching what's going on down here, and maybe they just decided, you know what, got a load of horsemen in my town, let's just surrender. But red, to be fair to them, put on a good show and do take out some of, you know, mangonel and all the rest of it. So they have fought back a little bit. If I would suggest right now, if blue hadn't surrendered and they had managed to push back against purple a little bit more, we could be looking at a kind of comeback situation. Purple are quite strong and their attack is quite strong, leading to, partly at least, leading to the surrender of red. And now it's just a race to green, essentially. Although, obviously, appreciating that pink is not quite done yet, but it pretty much is. But very shortly it's a race to green. To be honest, I don't end up creating another proper force. I just send a load of small detachments to support the others' advance. I'll just speed it up a little bit. Green is the one that's kind of sprawled out a little bit more. Royal cannons, best cannons in the game, they're always very annoying. Yeah, and I guess the ending's fairly inevitable now. Good game though. I nearly come on target with some Janissaries, not quite, didn't quite make it. Good game.